There it is. One side of the brain. That's why women can use 25,000 because they use in both sides of their brain and they're always thinking about something. We as men, we only use one side. That's why I always see that we're sitting around. We could be watching television, and it seems like we're just out. We're just like a zombie. Why? Because it's only one side working.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's right.
And we wonder, if people wonder why we as men do that. And somebody might say, is anything wrong? We say, ain't nothing wrong. It's that one side of that brain.
One side of the brain.
That's it. And that's what happens here. And that's what it's talking about. That's why I said. So let's go down and let's read a little bit more about this. Men aren't for Mars and women aren't for Venus, but their brains really are wired differently. Just like we just said, a study suggests the research which involves imaging the brains are nearly 1,000 adolescents found that the brains had more connections within hemispheres. This is what we talked about with the women, all right? Whereas female brains were more connected between both sides, just like we just talked about. The results, which apply to the population as a whole and not individuals, suggest that male brains may be optimized for motor skills. Women's brains may be optimized by combining analytical and intuitive thinking. Meaning a woman is always thinking, she always wants to talk. She always wants to relate. We as men, we don't do that. If it's coming to fixing a car or washing a car or fixing something, that's motor skills for us. We can do that. But a woman, she's not going to do that. She's going to do other things, but she's going to multitask. She's going to cook, she's going to iron, she's going to take care of the kids. She's going to do that.
That's right.
So that's where the problem comes in. That's where the problem begins at. All right, go ahead, Brother Dwight.
On average, men connect from front to back parts of the brain
That's right.
more strongly than women.
That's right.
Whereas women have stronger connection left to right,
There you go.
front to back.
There you go.
The same side.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Women left from the right.
There you go. Both sides. There you go. There it is.
Left to the right, said leader Renee Vermeer,
Yeah.
associate professor of radiology at the University of Pennsylvania Medical School. Roughly speaking, the back of the brain handles perception and the front of the brain handles action.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense of why male commit the majority, 94% of all crimes.
See, there it is, Brother White. You getting it now.
The left hemisphere of the brain is the seat of logical thinking, while the right side of the brain begins intuitive thinking. The finding lends support to the view that males may excel at motor skills, while women may be better at integrating and analysis and intuitive thinking.
There it is. All right. Let's go through and run through some of these things here, and we're going to break down the differences in how the brains are wired differently and why the sexes are different and why we act differently. All right. Let's go run through these, Brother Dwight, real quickly.
Women brains are more efficient.
Oh, okay. All right.
The fact that female brains have many more interconnection may help to explain a conundrum that has long puzzled scientists.
Yes.
Why women can show just as much intelligence as men, even though their brains are 8% smaller.
Yes.
The study found that women perform better than men at bigger picture thinking and keeping track of a challenging situation. Men do better on spiritual intelligence. The male ability.
Men are do better or spiritual intelligence. So what that means, a woman has a smaller brain, but she thinks more.
She thinks more.
We have a bigger brain and we don't think at all.
Think less.
We think less. So
I wonder if we had a smaller brain, what would we do?
We'll be deadly. We'll be deadly, wouldn't we? But that's why we have problems with women, because women are always thinking, because they use everything they have to communicate and connect with one another. That's why relationships are so important to them, because they have to have that connection, because they're thinking from one side to the other. We are from front to back on one side, but the women are going back and forth. So you see the difference is, and that's why we have a problem with our relationships, because we as men, we don't know how to communicate properly, because we have so much empty space in our brain that we're not using. So we do have those lacks in communicating. We have these differences while we have problems within that relationship balance.
That's right.
That's where we have those problems. All right, let me go to, I'll do two, and then we'll alternate back on through. Maps are strictly for men. Usually men are good at directions, usually. The male ability to process information set out in abstract ways, such as maps, which are abstractions of men. Men could do this faster and better than women. In fact, brain scans show they have more activity in 4 areas of the brain associated with decision making, focusing closely on tasks and visualizing. And that is so true.
That's so many men go to war.
Yep. We're task oriented and we are visual. Women are not so much task. They are relationships. They are communicators. They are relationship oriented. They are nurturers. They're concerned about the family, keeping things together. Men, we're not worried about that. We're worried about our tasks.
That's right.
That's what pleases us. If we're good at basketball, we can fix a car, all these other things they talk about going to war and accomplishing these things, that's what makes us happy.
That's right.
We can have the woman, but we got to do this to satisfy the visual thing that we see and what the perception of the world say we as men should be.
That's right.
Good God. Go ahead, Brother Dwight.
Stereotype confirm men are better at processing information set out to in abstract way. Yeah, you said. Number 3, but crying babies are for mothers.
Okay, all right.
The male brain might be good at decentralizing a car repair manual, but it's not much good at decoding social contact or emotion.
There you go.
As any new mom would know, as she rushes to comfort her crying baby and almost trips over her partner still glued to the football on TV.
Why is that, Brother Dwight? We as men, we may hear the baby crying, but okay, give him a bottle. But a woman has that. You remember we talked about the touch thing? Remember we talked about touch? How the homophobia and how we as children need to feel that touch and community. It's something about a woman and that child, there's a connection there. It could be something going on, and even though that child cannot speak, but she knows something is something wrong other than just crying.
Right.
It's crying for something that's going on. And they can pick up. We as men, we don't have it. We're disconnected from that. We plant the seed and that's it.
That's right.
All right, I ain't gonna go no further than that. All right, men. Number 4, men really don't understand women, and that is so true, generally speaking. Another trait that infuriates women is men's indifference to their partner's shifting emotions. We talked about this, how we as men, we just seem like we don't understand everyone's emotions. Why we can't understand why they may be sad one day and then up the next day. It's because that's how she's created. She's an emotional creature. She's moved by relationships. She's moved by situations. She's moved by family situations. Anything that's dealing with people and making things better within relationship between men and women or parents and children, she's going to key on it. And it's going to direct everything she does. All right? So here, the problem seems literally be an inability to see eye to eye. According to German psychiatrists, the eyes are truly a window to a woman's soul. But men are only half as good as women at interpreting a woman's emotions by looking into her eyes. Women show increased activity in areas of the brain that relate emotion and memory. That's so true, Brother White. You may do something to a woman in your life or your girlfriend or whatever. It may have happened last year, but she'll never forget it.
That's right.
She'll bring that thing back up, and that was a year ago, and she'll go with the hand.
Yeah.
You know how she is. Right. You know how women are. They don't forget nothing.
That's right.
Nothing at all. And we as men, we'll just let it roll. We'll keep on rolling. Well, woman ain't gonna do that. You know why? Because it's an emotional connection.
That's right.
Anything that hurts that woman emotionally, it's gonna stick with her because that's how she relates emotionally. All right. The limbic regions, where when looking into a woman's eyes, men brains generally show less activity here. Men are only generally less good at recognizing faces. According to other research, women seem able to do it automatically, which they do. They do, because it comes to connecting. There's the relationship thing again. All right, brother.
Women really are best at juggling.
We just talked about that. Talking about doing different things. You can do five or six different things at one time.
Men have a harder time multitasking than women.
That's right. That's true.
Brains are such a headache. The genders also respond to pain differently.
Yes.
Genders also respond to pain differently.
Mm-hmm.
It has been known for years that women feel pain more than men.
Yes. Yes.
Most chronic pain sufferers are women, and twice as many women as men get migraines.
Mm-hmm.
Emotions seem to play a much greater role in magnifying the intensity of pain felt by women.
Okay.
Canadian investigators has shown that while women generally report their pain sensation as being much more intense than men,
Okay.
the disparity does not result from any differences in chemical pain measures. Rather, it seems to be determined by the amount of anxiety the women are experiencing.
That's so true. That's
Pain.
so true.
Women feel pain more than men, but men are more prone to the flu than women.
What that means is we as men, we are bigger crybabies
That's right.
when it comes to pain.
When we get sick.
Yep.
More than that.
Baby, bring me some soup. I ain't feeling well. But that woman, she'll press through. She may be going through her menstrual cycle. She can, in childbirth, she can carry so much pain because she's used to that pain, but she's made for that because she is that nurturer. She's gonna go through all type of pain to keep things together. We as men, we go through pain, we disconnect again. We want everything to focus on us.
That's right.
But that woman, she'll be sick, but she's still worried about, she still got to get things done for everybody else. You see what I'm saying?
We can say everything shut down.
Everything shut down. You see the difference there? There it is. All right. Okay. A tissue. It's true. A man's flu is real, meaning men suffer with colds because they have extra temperature receptors in their brain and so experience worse symptoms. It's true. We just talked about that. Men, we will broadcast how we feel, that we're so sick. But a woman, she may not even tell you that she's sick. She'll just keep on moving. You know, unless she's really sick, then you know she's sick. But she'll press through. But we as men, we'll shut it down. We'll shut it down.
That's right.
That's how we do. That's how we do. All right, I'm gonna deal with still stress, and then we'll get ready to close this out. 6. Stress affects the sex differently, which is so true. Women, oh my God, men and women also respond to pain differently. In men, it tends to trigger fight or flight response. When we talk about this, while women are most likely to tend and befriend, this may arise from differences in the amygdala, a part of the brain linked to stress reactions. So men under stress won't go for a run or have space to themselves. Women under stress typically won't talk. They want to talk to friends. That's their release.
That's right.
That's their release. When they under stress, a woman sit on that phone. We wonder how in the world can a woman sit on the phone and talk 2 and 3 hours
That's right.
to one person? It's that stress relief. It's that stress relief. But we as men, we will hold it in.
That's right.
We'll hold it in until something happens, and then we explode.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So the stress part is a difference is there. That's another difference in the sexes. We don't handle stress different. We handle stress differently because we as men, we are big crybabies. We want to hide the pain. We want to do our own thing. That's why we have the problems that we have. All right. Let's go down. Let's continue. We're gonna get ready to close out. This has been good, some good stuff, Brother Dwight. This has been very good.
Really good.
All right. Let's go down. Let's go down to it says why genders solve problems differently. We're gonna go through a few of those. Let's go to here's what we know. Let's run through some of these real quick, Brother Dwight. I'll read it first. We're gonna go back and forth. Men tend to be better at numbers, and women tend to trump language in communication, which is true.
Men traditionally dominate fields of math, science, and engineering, yet the imbalance is changing.
Okay. Women hold the lion's share of higher education degrees since 1982, yet women do less well on standardized tests used for college entrance and graduate school requirements. The best universities are attracting more men to fill their enrollment gaps.
Hormone plays a larger part in cognitive operation than once realized. Research, for example, shows that when people change their genders, their cognitive pattern also changes.
That's true, absolutely. Women often outperform men on tasks that use language processing, which is so true, and draw on more symmetric activation across brain hemispheres. And we just talked about that because they think with both parts of their brain. All right, they're wired differently.
Men often outperform women in tasks that call upon activation of the visual contours area.
Cortex area. So that means we as men, we are moved by what we see.
That's right.
That's why we are visual creatures. All right. All right. Number 7. Research shows through brain imaging that even when men and women perform the same task equally, well, they draw on different parts of the brain to do so. That's right, because the wiring is differently.
That's right.
Women, we may do it differently, and a woman may come out and say, well, I did it this way, but it took me less time. Why? Because she's thinking more. How can I do? And that's how women do. They say there's a task to be done. Okay, she know and generally it may take an hour to do. She said, well, how can I do this in less time so I can pick up the kids, I can cook dinner, and she'll find a better way. But we as men, we want to be very analytical. It may take us 2 hours to do it.
Yeah.
And we still come out to the same common goal.
That's right.
But the woman did it quicker because she was able to use both parts of her brain to get the job done quicker and still do it just as good or better than the man did.
That's right.
Because she's thinking on both sides of the brain.
And I guess it's just like the example how I started off with the bulldozer pushing up the building, the wind pushing up
That's
the
right,
building.
that's right. That's
And
right.
it's getting an example.
That's
For
right.
example, we could be the bulldozer.
Yes.
We could be the wind.
Yes, yes.
We using a bulldozer to push over.
A physical something to push it over.
And
Yeah.
the wind using, and the women, it's the wind.
Yes.
Basically, both doing the same thing.
Yes. That's right.
Getting the same result.
Getting the same result.
Two different things getting the same
That's
result.
right. That's right. But that wind could knock that building over much faster because they getting more. It's got more power
That's right.
about. But even though a bulldozer is strong, but a wind, you get 100-mile-an-hour wind, it'll take it out just like that.
That's right.
It's going to take that bulldozer, going to go up, come back, go up, come back. You see what I'm saying? So you're right. Absolutely. That's right.
New high-tech scientific study shows marked the differences between men and women under stress. It says in reality, both genders use logic.
Yes.
Which is more multiple intelligent people poses in various degrees. However, men and women tend to apply and express logic differently. Have you seen it happen?
That's right.
It says it is also true that women learn logical knowledge from men they respect.
Yes.
In similar ways, men learn mental diviners from observing women. Women's interpersonal or emotional intelligence in action.
Yes.
Can you envision both genders creating and navigating far bigger pictures together? I know when I was doing my business degree, they had one of our courses was emotion intelligence. So it talks a lot about character
Yes.
and personal
Yes.
skills.
Yes.
This more about using your brain,
Yes.
both parts of your brain,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes.
Which a woman's more
Yes.
connected
She is.
to do that.
She's more connected to do it. Yes.
And I promise you, when I was taking that course about most intelligent, I felt better about myself. About my expectation, where I say my understanding became wider just
Right.
by taking that course.
Over that course, yeah. And you see how now that we're dealing with this, you can reflect back on that now. We have to learn, we can pull from one another as male
That's
and
right.
female. If we as men are willing to receive what a female
That's right.
has to offer, because we as men, we really don't want to hear too much what a female has to say,
No.
because we feel we know it all.
We know.
But see, that's when we make the mistake, because a woman is very smart.
That's right.
She's very smart. If you only listen, she can help you achieve some things in a faster method than we as men, but we don't want to do it that way.
That's right.
We want to feel that we did it on our own instead of receiving help from anybody else. See, that's where we as men in our pride hurt us when it comes to gender differences, because we as men, we lose our connection between women because we feel that we have it all under control and that you as women can't help us. But that's where we make the mistake. You as women, you are very, very valuable to us as men, because God created you God created you as I help me to complete us, not to be in competition against one another, but to complete us as men. And that's where, until we get to that point, Brother Dwight, to understand that we have differences, but those differences all work together for good.
That's right.
For them that love the Lord.
That's right.
That's called according to his purpose.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So yes, there are differences, but the differences that we have, it really means nothing until we come into the knowledge of God, because there's no reason for us to fight and bicker about that. But until you as a man get to understand that that woman's there to hurt you, is not there to hurt you but to love you, then we're going to continue to have these problems because you're more concentrated on your pride and your achievements that you get. That's where our relationships are destroyed, because yes, we have different thinking patterns, but both those thinking patterns can help one another. Good God from Zion, brother. All right, we're going to touch on these last two things. We got to get out of here. All right, let's go. A woman has, we call it intuition, and a man has perception, or we call it both. I'm sorry, man has logic and a woman has intuition. When we say, Brother Dwight, when I say a woman has intuition, what does that word intuition means to you?
And I guess they'd be entwined together, connected.
Yes, okay.
I'll say something within.
It is within. We as men, women can pick up on certain things and we don't even see it, but they can feel it on the inside.
That's right.
They can feel that. That's intuition. We as men, if we can't see it physically and figure it out logically, we don't want to hear it.
That's
It
right.
goes back to the beginning when we talked in the beginning broadcast. The wind we can't see.
That's right.
The bulldozer we see.
That's right.